Hey guys, this is Anthony Bromrell, and in this video we're going to talk about starting a new repository and adding a Maya project to it. So let's get ourselves started here. I'm going to I'm at my main page where you can see my repositories, and I'm just going to hit this new button. And this is going to give me the opportunity to create a repository. Let's give it a name. So I'm just going to name this projects. Okay, and you can name it whatever you want. There's no right or wrong way to do it. And I'm going to choose visibility to public. I'm going to init this with a README file, so I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to add a git ignore. I'm going to start with Unity, even though we technically might not need Unity. We might not be adding Unity. I tend to do that because it gives me a good working template. And then I'm just going to hit create repository. Okay, now what I want to do is click on this code button, and I'm going to just copy this URL, and we're going to add this to GitKraken. So what you should have done is I'll open GitKraken. By this point, you should have authenticated with GitHub. If you haven't, then go to your settings, go to integrations, and make sure that GitHub has a connected integration with an SSH key, right? So I'm going to exit the preferences here. I'm going to hit this clone button. I'm going to clone with the URL that I copied. I'm going to paste that URL. I'm going to make sure that this is not in OneDrive. Okay. So I'm going to browse my location. And if you're on the PC, do not put it in OneDrive. Put it in your users folder outside of OneDrive. And on the Mac, don't put it in iCloud. Okay. Don't put it on OneDrive or Google Drive or anything else that also has version control. So I'm going to hit clone the repository, and it says successfully cloned, so I'm going to open it now. I have a repo. Now what we're going to do is we're going to launch Maya and set a project there. Okay, so now I have Maya open, and I want to set Maya to point a project to Unity. So I'm going to go to project, set project, and I'm going to go to that repository. So I have a little Git repos tab right here to make it easier for me. I have that projects folder. I'm going to hit open, and then I'm going to hit cancel, because you know what I want to do first is in that projects add a Maya folder. So let's go to that projects Git repository. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it Maya. What I'll do is go to files, set project. I'm going to select, come out of here, go to my Git repos again, go to projects, open that up, select the Maya folder, hit open. I'm going to create a default workspace. The next setting I'm going to do is go to the project window, and that's opened up off screen a bit. I'm going to accept these changes. Now let's work on our git ignore and LFS. GitKraken, you can see that on the Mac I have this DS store. I don't want that, so I'm going to right click it. I'm going to say ignore DS store files. So I'm going to ignore that. Now the workspace.mml I want. The Maya project is not going to show up initially. That's okay. Some things I want to ignore. So far so good. We're going to stage those changes, right? So from a Maya perspective standpoint, we're good. And what we want, just to look at the folder, it's going to be the same on Mac and PC. All of these folders aren't going to show up by default on your Git repository. They will show up on your hard drive, and they will be added as needed. Okay, but it's there for you to get going. You're going to want to have all your scenes from all your classes live here. So, and you don't want to designate your classes. We want all your classes integrated into one repository, one Maya project. Okay, now we want to get LFS working. So if you haven't done so, we're going to go to our preferences. We're going to scroll on down to LFS, and we're going to hit initialize this repo. And we're going to add a few things to our pattern. So for example, we'll hit star, that's a wildcard, .png. Okay. Then we'll have a comma if we want Photoshop files to be there, which we normally wouldn't, but maybe star.psd. Anything like Maya binary, we're going to ignore that. So .mbs will ignore. So we're going to say add to tracking, and there's some, you know what, I have a space here. Let's remove that. I made a little mistake. So we're going to initialize the repo again. We're going to do star.p and G and just hit enter, and then anything else like Photoshop documents and stuff. So one at a time. My little mistake. Okay, next so we have our git attributes, that's been staged. To this git ignore, one type of file we want to ignore are Maya binary files. We don't want them there. We want Maya ASCII files. So we're just going to say, you know, we're not even going to push those on there. So let's hit this edit button, if it'll let it. Let's unstage this git ignore. Then we can edit the file, and I'm just going to add to it a file that we want to ignore, and that will be .mb, okay, Maya binary. And we'll just hit save. We're gonna stage this file. We're gonna commit our changes. So, you know, project start. We're gonna make sure we can safely commit and push our files, and we should get green, push successfully. That's how we set up a Maya project with LFS. There's going to be more details that we will add as we proceed in the classes.